I haven't made this video yet really surprises me because I feel like I should have by now. But this is the list of the top breakout running backs that I really stand by this year, and you guys should be too. So if you get any value at all from this video, go ahead and drop a like. I really would appreciate it. And if you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. But let me quickly give you a rundown of what makes a league winner and what we can really classify as a league winner. A league winner is a player that is going to outperform their ADP or average draft position by miles, or have a super high finish if they're an early round guy. So those are a few ways you can reach this league winning identity. But the very first player, and probably my favorite breakout running back of the entire year, and he's easily going to outperform every single ADP or whatever, I don't know how he's going this low, is Nick Chubb. He's going as the 14th pick on average, but really I think he should be going a lot higher in the first round. I mean, if you can get him at the 2-3 turn, that is amazing value. Over the last 4 seasons in the NFL, he's averaged 93, 89, 90, and 90 rushing yards per game purely. So that is a super high floor to pair with his super high ceiling that he's getting this year. He's averaging over 5 yards per carry and has never had less than 8 touchdowns on a season, and Chubb has been able to put up these numbers with a plethora of roadblocks and problems. He had all of those numbers in that 4-year stretch with Kareem Hunt splitting the carries. He had 158 carries last year, and now that's all going back into Nick Chubb. But obviously Jerome Ford, the backup behind Nick Chubb at the moment, is going to take some of that, but he's purely a kick returner, and Nick Chubb, he's way better, but Jerome Ford does not pose any threats at all. But he's not going to get anywhere near the touches or especially receptions that Kareem Hunt was getting. Another roadblock in that 4-year stretch is that the Browns offense was 20th in points per game, and that's pretty near the bottom for him. Now they have a real quarterback in Deshaun Watson that will be better this season than he was last season. And as long as Deshaun Watson and this team improves to even an average points per game number, that is going to impact and help Nick Chubb tremendously. So he's a super consistent running back already, with all of these roadblocks completely out of the way for him to have a breakout year. But the next breakout running back on this list that I have been weighing in and out of for the past couple weeks, trying to decide, do I want to officially add him to this list of breakout running backs? And I think today is finally the day I'm going to add him. A true breakout running back for this year is going to be Tony Pollard. Now, I've had my debates, but it boils down to a few things. I find it really hard that the Cowboys are going to go true 1 RB, kind of like the Nick Chubb and the Browns or the Derrick Henry and the Titans do. Because even when Zeke missed time, Tony Pollard was restricted to around 17 carries a game, and it was known that he was never and will not get any more than that in that entire season. He only exceeded that mark in 3 games last season, which is not very good. Now, maybe that was to keep Zeke's trade value high, if that's what they were going to do. I mean, there could have been a lot of outstanding reasons why he didn't get that. This almost feels like a situation that's too good to be true. Pollard was super efficient in the run and pass game. He finished as a running back 3 in the games where Zeke wasn't playing. Now Zeke isn't on the team, which opens up 16 carries a game and a huge red zone opportunity that now Tony Pollard assumingly gets to just walk into. But this is fantasy football, and I've learned over the years that we can't be stuck on the past, and I'm sticking to a path. If any team and any player has a path to break out, we're going with the path and not the past. All you need is a path to break out, and you can get your ticket. And at the moment, there are realistically no backups behind Tony Pollard. I don't see Ronald Jones, Malik Davis, or Deuce Vaughn taking an insane amount of these carries. Considering Zeke is leaving 16 carries on average, I don't think that all 3 of them combined will take more than 16 carries. Now, I do think getting the backup running back behind Tony Pollard will be very valuable for injury reasons, and also there's still going to be some value there. But his path to being a top 5 at least running back is absolutely there, because guess what? Numerous beat reporters and staff have come out and said Dallas is preparing people for Tony Pollard to be the RB1 and lead this backfield and the offense. No matter who they bring into this backfield to back him up, if any, it is decided that Tony Pollard will be the lead back in this offense, and they're going all in. And for a team and reporters and everybody to have that much confidence in a player that's going in the 3rd round of fantasy football drafts, this is instant value. But my 3rd breakout running back on this list, who I am a little bit hesitant about, but I want to give you guys this information, is Cam Akers, and I've been bouncing back and forth. But the only reason I decided to put him on this list is for one sole reason. There is quite literally 0 competition in this backfield. The only people behind him are Sony Michel, who has never really been a consistent running back since the Super Bowl Patriot days. And last year he averaged under 3 yards per carry, which is below inefficient. Kyron Williams, who, I mean, got a little bit of opportunities but was not the best by any means. And Zach Evans, a rookie that they drafted in the 6th round, who again, I really don't think is going to be a threat whatsoever. I didn't really like his game in college, and I don't think I'm going to continue to like it here. So there really is no backup behind Cam Akers, and I really think he could absolutely suck this year and still be the RB1 on his team. But again, there are some drawbacks here. I mean, he is one of the most risky, you know what, he is the most risky player on this list. I mean, buying into the Rams offense is something that you don't usually want to be doing if it's outside of Cooper Kupp. But Cam Akers really wasn't that efficient last season either, and some of that can probably be blamed on his injury. But he was really only good in his last few games, and I don't take that as much because he did the same thing the year before that, and we thought he was going to be good, and then he wasn't. But over his career, he has historically been a lot better in Rams wins, which makes a lot of sense because if your team is winning, you're going to presumably be running the ball a lot more. But the only problem here is that the Rams are projected 6 wins on the season, and if you're not going to win a lot of games, you're not going to be running a lot, and if he does not perform well in losses, that's not really a good sign. You could also make the case that if they're passing more, maybe he'll get receptions out of the backfield, but he has never been a pass catcher, and he never will be. He averages 1 target a game out of the backfield. So I do definitely have my group of red flags here that I don't really reach for Cam Akers for, but the pure fact that there's absolutely no backups on this team at the moment is the only reason that I'm really going to continue being okay with drafting him. And if you want to put him in this breakout list, I'll do it, but I really wanted to give you guys this list because we're slowly starting to get reports that the Rams and Sean McVay are really committed to him this year. And Sean McVay has said that he wants him to be a big part of this offense, and as I said with Tony Pollard, if we have a path, there is a way to break out. All I look for is a path, and there's a path here. It might be a risky one, but there's a path. Next on this list is probably my favorite besides Nick Chubb here, David Montgomery, and he is a massive value going in the 6th round right now, and you need to listen to this. At the moment, he's going as the RB25 behind Isaiah Pacheco and James Conner, but he has the easiest schedule for fantasy football running backs out of the entire NFL. The Lions led the entire NFL in fantasy points out of the backfield. I mean, that's pretty obvious after we saw Jamal Williams go for, 16, 17 touchdowns last season? But a backfield averaging 30 fantasy points in total is absolutely crazy, and now all they did was upgrade their backfield. They replaced Jamal Williams with Jahmyr Gibbs and DeAndre Swift with David Montgomery, and those are 2 clear upgrades. I don't know how people aren't swinging for this backfield yet. And the biggest knock on this, and I can hear some of you guys saying it, is that, well, the reason they averaged 30 fantasy points and they were the best backfield in the NFL fantasy points wise is because Jamal Williams scored so many touchdowns. And to that I say, if we were to erase every single one of Jamal Williams' touchdowns, the Lions would still rank 12th in fantasy points for the backfield in total. So name me another backfield where you can take the starting running back's total touchdowns out and still be one of the best backfields in the NFL. You can't. And on top of that, the only real option they have in this offense is Amon-Ra and maybe Jameson Williams when he comes back all the way in week 6. So this is the dream backfield for any fantasy football running back. With David Montgomery going in the 6th round, this is an absolute steal. And for the people also saying that, well, he's just going to shadow Jahmyr Gibbs, he was a good running back in Chicago, but again, this backfield is just absolutely league winning, and he has a path to break out. I don't know how Jahmyr Gibbs is going in round 3, but David Montgomery's going in round 6. But the last breakout running back here on this list, a little bit of a curveball, is going to be Tank Bigsby, and I know, how is he a breakout running back? He's going as the RB55. He's not even starting. I have to start this by saying a 13th round pick isn't going to absolutely destroy leagues, because if he was, he would be drafted a lot higher. And it is super unlikely that he outperforms Travis Etienne throughout the season to be the RB1. That just won't happen. I see a lot of people saying that he has a path to do that and split this backfield 50-50. I don't see that happening. We have to be realistic. But the reason I have him on this list is because there is, again, a path, and there's a really good one here. Travis Etienne was not good in the receiving game whatsoever. He ran a whole bunch of routes, but he barely got targeted, got the ball passed to him because he just couldn't get open. He just simply was not good at pass catching. So this passing down role is a really, really easy way for Tank Bigsby to put his foot in the door of this offense and be cemented for some type of role, because you're not going to outsnap the starting running back. And again, that's not enough to just purely make him a league winner in these standings. But if Travis Etienne were to get injured, there is no committee backfield that this is going to turn into. Most teams, when their starting running back gets injured, they revert to a committee. There's 2 or 3 running backs that all kind of split the carries. But no, Tank Bigsby is going to be the literal only one taking all of this work. And if he already cemented himself in the receiving game and now he gets all the rushing work, he's easily a top 5 running back every single week. And I mean this. You know what? Maybe he doesn't belong on this breakout running back list because he doesn't quite fit the criteria. But I mean, if Travis Etienne were to get injured, he's an easy top 5 running back every single week. And I had to put him on this list because if you want to take him with your last pick in fantasy drafts, there's a real chance that he's going to bring you your value back. But that is going to conclude my list of the true running backs that are actually legitimately going to win you a league. And if you did get any value from this video, go ahead and drop a like. I seriously do appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next fantasy football tips video. So make sure to come back to that.